escape from the matrix, you have got to take the red pill. We all have got to take the red pill to wake up from what, I hear you ask? From the pretend reality that we are actually free, when we are really simply successful slaves. Do you remember Neo from the movie Matrix? He was just your typical successful slave. He had a job, he had his boss, but he didn't like any of them. He only liked his boss when he got paid, right? He had this tiny little cubicle somewhere in a corner, which was smaller than his bathroom at home. Does this sound familiar yet? Because it's going to get a lot more familiar soon. And then do you remember the alarm clock ringing before the sun was awake, the long commute, the tiny cubicle, his dreams suffocating, silently dying somewhere, gathering dust in the back of his mind, in the back of his office. Most of us don't even know what our dreams are. Most of us don't even know what we want to do. But I can promise you that you are not alone in this. The modern world has turned almost all of us into successful slaves. We are all of us. We're like Neo, right? But today we have to have a realization. The vast majority of us, we are not living, we are barely existing. Let me tell you something. Even if you have a really good job and you make about 100,000 a year, which is 3 times above the average salary in the UK, you're still not free, because after tax you're left around 60,000, and maybe with some saving or some money or some loans you can get a mortgage and you can buy an average house with them, and then you get a car, and then the car is going to be on lease, and then you have your 2.2 kids and you're going to take them on 2 holidays a year. But don't forget, those are going to be on credit cards mostly, of course, right? Most of us will think, oh, wow, I have a cool job. It allows me to do all this. Look at this. Isn't this great? But it's not a great life, because you don't own anything, almost nothing. And we and you are most definitely not free. Because for as long as you do this, the 9 to 5, the grind for 40 years, as long as you sustain this, you can maintain that lifestyle. However, that's not freedom. That's what being a successful slave is. They make you think that when you get out of your 9 to 5 work, right, after 40 years somehow, you'll be rich, and then you can retire and you can relax and you'll have made it. Made what? You know, you'll still, how many people be working in some way or another, and your mind will be worrying about the money you don't have coming in, right? Let me tell you something. Is that true for the majority? How many rich people do you know who are older, who have worked for 40 years in a 9 to 5 job and are now rich? I don't know any. I don't know a single one. And can you really live and enjoy those things you truly want to when you're 85 years old? Don't get me wrong, I love older people. You know, I work with older people. I'm Dr. Max, I'm a consultant psychiatrist. I hope you're enjoying the ideas in this video, and I do know for sure that you'll enjoy the ones we're going to make in the future, and they're coming up very soon, so therefore please like and subscribe. I want to talk about the Matrix today. Like Neo didn't know he was in the Matrix, most of us also don't know we're in the Matrix. And yes, I love to have a laugh and a joke, but really escaping that tiresome 9 to 5 work, culture, expectations, the sense of societal expectation, the financial living from paycheck to paycheck, that's the real thing that I want to talk about here. Because, you know, I make more than 3 times the average salary within the UK, but I'm not free. I'm a successful slave too. Sure, I can go on holiday, I can do lots of things, but I'm not free. Most of us, the reality is most of us live from paycheck to paycheck. Most of us live from one debt to the other. But we need to think of a way to get out of this. But how do we get out of it? That's the real challenge. And that requires thought, effort. It often requires risk, but considered risk is better than not doing anything. We need to thoroughly research and consider all the options and the possible outcomes before we make life decisions that could be very major. It's very easy to remain in the state of comfortable servitude, a successful slave, believing that this is all there is to life, this is everything, but it's not. There are a whole world of opportunities that await us outside of our office window. There are dreams, aspirations, creatives, people with creative ability. There is romance, there's love, there's time being spent with loved ones that needs to be spent with loved ones. That's true living. That has been crushed by the 9-to-5 matrix, by the 40 years of servitude and the successful slaves like me. That's me. I'm a successful slave, and I bet you the vast majority of you out there are successful slaves too. So what can we do about this? The first step towards freedom is recognizing that you are in this metaphorical matrix, trapped, ensnared, and the allure of financial security and the false promise of societal approval. Well, what does that really mean anyway? Well, let's not despair, because I don't believe in that. Life isn't about filling out timesheets and meeting deadlines. It's about filling your heart with joy. Yes, I did say that. I said life is about filling your heart with joy. You can write that down. And I'm not Morpheus at all. I'm not as cool as Morpheus. Not many people are, I think. And there is no real red pill or blue pill here. But there is hard work, resilience, and the willingness to embrace uncertainty and take the right and appropriate chances that come your way. Because without that, we'll all be successful slaves forever. So take heart, and this journey can be tough, but it can be very rewarding too. If you find yourself chained to this 9-to-5 grind, but you think there's more to life, and you want to live your life you desire, you want to have a financial freedom, you want to have a life that you really want to live, you want to live your dream, you want to give that to your family, you want security, you want success, then it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, recognize the matrix, and understand how we can escape it. By the matrix, I don't mean that we're living in a virtual reality. What I mean is that the system has entrapped us. Look, there are people rioting in France every day for the last, I don't know how many weeks, because they want to increase the age that people have to work to. So we're getting older and older and older before we can retire. And then what life will we have? What abilities will we have to dream? What strength will we have left? I can't fight like Neo in the Matrix. Not many of us can. But the beauty is we don't actually need to. We have the power right here. We have the power. It's here. What we need to do is recognize what needs to be done about this. So what we want to do is take our courage in our hands and find out how we can break this ball and chain of office and expectations and smash down the societal 9-to-5 expectation. And then we can start, once we break this, walking towards our chains, running towards our dreams. And we have the power. We actually don't need Neo to come from anywhere outside and help us do this. We can do it ourselves because it's here. The brain is the most powerful and complex organ known in the universe. It may be more powerful and complex than the universe itself. Certainly, it's amazing. And I know how we can utilize the power of the mind. So therefore, master your mind with Dr. Max. Come with me on this journey, and let's look forward to the possible solutions in our next videos.